Hey, what's up you guys? Today I'm going to be filming a full face first impressions review on the new Wet n Wild products that are at the drugstore. I was at my CVS 2 days ago, and as I was walking through it, there was a big sign that said all of the Wet n Wild products were buy one get one 50% off. So I picked up 8 of them total and decided to do just like a full face of it. So everything other than my eyeliner and my mascara is Wet n Wild that is on my face. This is the final look that happened when I was trying it out. So if you want to see how I liked all these new products that I tried out today, then just keep watching this video. Alright, so here are all of my items that I have in here. I think I have 8 different Wet n Wild items, so I decided I was just going to make a video of like full face first impressions, because all of these except for one I think are new products too. Like they have the like pink label, it's like new. So first to start out with, we are going to be taking the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. And this one is in the shade Ivory. I wasn't super crazy about trying this because I feel like I've seen a couple videos and people are like, about it. But like I said, because I was doing the full face of first impressions, and honestly I need a couple more shades that match my color right now because I'm very pale and like normally I do self-tanning and I just haven't. So it has a little paddle, and I just paddled a little bit of that out onto the back of my hand, and I'm just going to apply that with my damn Real Techniques Beauty Blender. So immediately, it feels very light actually. I feel like even coverage-wise, it doesn't look like it's doing a ton. It almost feels like moussey. I don't know. This is a weird consistency so far. Shade-wise, the color is really great. This was the second in the line at my CVS. I don't know how I love this packaging, I'm going to be honest. It feels like a little gimmicky. I mean, I guess it's better than just having to pour it out in your hand, but I don't know if it's a little strange. First impression of this foundation so far, I don't hate it. I'm also not a huge fan of it. It almost kind of feels like a powder foundation. Like as soon as you press it onto your face, it feels kind of like, it feels very lightweight, it does. But at the same time, I think because of that, it looks cakey. I don't know if you can see this or not. I did not use a primer with this just because I wanted to see what the foundation did on itself, just because I don't use primers every day. I like to kind of see what it looks like. The color selection, or the color shade, actually matches me really well, which is great, and that's awesome. But I just feel like it looks a little cakey, and I only had really like 2 pimples over on the side of my face that I really had to cover, and I feel like I had to go up to almost 3 layers to like actually get it semi-covered. So I would definitely say it's like a medium coverage. It's nowhere near a full coverage. Maybe even like medium to light coverage, unless you like really build it up, and then once you build it up, I feel like it gets a little cakey. So I don't love this, but I also don't hate it either. I do like how lightweight it feels on the skin, and I do like that the color selection is really great. So yeah, first impressions on that. Next I'm going to be moving on to the, I'm going to keep being like Wet n Wild, this is all Wet n Wild. Next I'm going to be moving on to the, it's the Photo Focus Conceal and Correct, and this one is in Light Ivory. I feel like I haven't heard anyone talking about this specifically. Like I feel like everyone and their mother went and bought this and did like a review video on it, but I feel like I haven't really seen much of this guy. So I'll be interested to see. I'm still like on the lookout for good concealers now that I don't use my Maybelline Fit Me anymore. I'm always like in the market to see if there's other good stuff out there. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and test this out. And I'm not gonna use this as a highlight anywhere else because I actually have another product that I'm gonna do that with. So for now, I'm just gonna use this under my eyes. I'm actually decently okay with this. I mean, it didn't give like any crazy kind of like, you know, coverage. I think it's like pretty medium coverage to medium to full. It's actually doing a pretty good job with my under eye circles. Once again, I don't know how this is going to crease, you know, all the other things that comes down to a concealer, but I would say just like in coverage wise, I'm actually okay with this. I would definitely probably reach for this on a regular basis as long as it doesn't do any like super weird creasing or anything. Yeah, it's I'm decently okay with that. So now the reason I didn't use that for a highlight is because I'm actually going to go in with the, I didn't even know that Wet n Wild had this. It didn't say that it was a new product. I didn't say that it was a new product. I had one of these that looked exactly like this from NYX, but it was way more expensive. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Dual End Contour Stick. and it's in light medium. I just didn't hear anyone talking about this. Like, I feel like I've never seen anyone use this before. So I saw it and I was like, if it's good, that would be awesome. Because like I said, I had one from NYX. I think it was only, the NYX one was only like $10, so it wasn't like super expensive by any means. But I mean, this was way, way cheaper. It was a way better option. So I'm definitely looking a little ghostly at the moment. So I'm just going to contour with this a little bit. I'll give you a little swatch. Well, I would say warm for a contour shade. Definitely looks a little warm. So I'm going to go really light with this and just see how this blends out. I mean, the color is a little bit dark. I don't know, really dark. It might just be that I'm so pale right now. So I feel like you can actually kind of like see a little bit of a line on my face, but it actually blended out. I mean, to me, that blended out pretty nicely. I feel like I didn't have to work with it a ton. Yeah, I'd say I'm okay with that. I don't see any issues. The color could be a little bit more improved for like a contour shade, but I mean, the way it blended out actually is really nice. And then this is going to be the highlighting shade. I'm just going to take that on the forehead. Right down the bridge of the nose, on my chin a little, and on the cupid's bow. I'm definitely okay with that stick. I mean, is it like my favorite thing I've ever used for contour and highlight? No, but I mean, for the price of it, and I mean, you know, the fact that it's very like compact. Like if I was going out of town for like a weekend and I wasn't doing any kind of like crazy, you know, makeup or anything, like event stuff, I would definitely put this in my bag just because it's so simple, and you know, you don't have to use a brush. You can continue using your beauty blender. I'm definitely okay with this. I think it's blended out really nicely, actually. I think it looks good. I will say right now my face looks a little lifeless. I don't know if I think it's probably the foundation. It's dried down pretty well, but I feel like it looks kind of cakey and looks a little just like, I don't know, I just feel like it doesn't look like my skin right now. So the next thing I'm going to use probably isn't the best idea, but I did buy it and I'm curious to try it out. There are some places on my skin that still feel tacky, so I don't think that it would hurt to put on a little bit of this. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Pressed Powder. Like I said, almost all of these are really new products, so that's the reason that I wanted to do this. And this is in the shade Warm Light. And all of the Photo Focus products, I think the reason that they came out and what they tried to sell them as was that they don't have any flashback. It says back here, it says, tested under 7 light conditions with top smartphone models and with and without flash. So it's supposed to not have any kind of flashback. So I'm just going to set my face with this. Added to the cakiness just a little bit, but I mean, honestly, for as cakey as I feel like I was looking before, this didn't make it super bad. I feel like as cakey as it could have turned, it didn't do that. Yeah, I'd say it's doing okay. You know what I'm actually going to try and do is just use this to set my under eyes as well and see what happens. This concealer stood up pretty well to creasing. It has not creased under my eyes yet, which my concealer normally does crease a decent amount. Okay, so next there weren't like any new products, but I already own this Wet n Wild Color Icon bronzer in the shade Ticket to Brazil. Oh my gosh, I don't know if that was so hard. So I am just going to lightly dust that on my face just to warm up a little bit, because I didn't really want to contour too heavily like around my face, but I do want to add just a little bit of warmth with a really light hand. I don't use this I don't use this bronzer very often, to be honest. It's not one of my favorites, but I am trying to keep it to like a full face of Wet n Wild, so figured it was fitting. Now that that is done, I have a couple of the Wet n Wild Color Icon blushes, but I don't have one in this shade. This is called, it's actually in the shade Blush. And the reason that I picked this one up specifically is because out of all of the blushes that they have, this one was one that had a new formula on it. And like I said, I do have a couple of the other ones, but I do not think that they are the new formula. And I do like the Color Icon blushes, so I decided we would try this one out. I really like the shade too. So I really like this shade too because I feel like it is a really nice kind of like, I really love neutral blushes like this. I don't like blushes that are too intense, so especially I feel like this is a shade where in the summertime when I'm a little more tan, I could really pack this on, and it's like has like that nice, like almost like brown peachy color to it. Oh yeah, I love this color. It's like almost a mix between like a bronzer and a blush. Like it has those brown tones to it, which is what I love in a blush. Yeah, so far this is probably my favorite thing that I've tried. This is blending out really nicely. I love the color. I can't really tell a huge difference between this formula and the old one. This seems, maybe the only thing I would say is it seems a tiny bit less patchy than the old one. The old one I've had troubles with that before. All right, next is probably one of the things that I am most excited about, and that is this. This looks gorgeous, and I feel like maybe I heard someone mention something about this, but I couldn't remember what they said, so I was like, I'm definitely picking it up. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in the shade Precious Petals. Let me show you that. I should have opened all of these before I started filming this. Like, so it looks like this, and I think it looks so gorgeous. I mean, this looks like almost like an Oprah highlight or like something like that to me. So fingers crossed that it's gonna be good. I kind of want to do like a little swatch. This is what it looks like. We're gonna try it out. It looks a tiny bit glittery, but eh. We're gonna see what happens, and if I have to fix this, then we will. It's definitely a little gold for my skin tone, probably for right now, because I'm so pale, but I'm gonna light back my skin because I kind of look like a ghost before this. I don't know, I'm kind of liking this. I really love the color of it. I mean, it is just like the taddest bit glittery in my opinion. But I mean, if you can get past that and you can like be into it, I love this color. I think the color is so pretty, especially like I know I will reach for this a lot in the summertime. Like when I'm more tan, this kind of like gold, but like not gold, but not too gold, if you know what I'm talking about. Because like our skin isn't naturally gold, like it has to have like a flesh tone gold to it. That's exactly what this is. So I actually really like this so far. And I'm going a little overboard more than I normally do because, like I said, my skin looked dead before. So I'm actually liking this, yeah, as a highlight. I think it's really, really pretty. So thumbs up for that one, actually. That was kind of like one I was excited about it, but I was like also like totally expecting to be let down with it. Okay, so now that the face is done, we're gonna go into eyes. This is one of my two like not nude products. This is the Color Icon eyeshadow palette in Comfort Zone, and this is one that I know like Kathleen Lights I feel like made really popular, and so many other people did because it's known to be a really good palette. So that's actually the reason I picked it up, is I was like, I picked up all these face products and I was like, well, if I'm gonna make it like a full face one, I was like, then I might as well get some eyeshadows because I don't really have any Wet n Wild eyeshadows, and I know that this palette is supposed to be really great. So should I just do something ridiculous and try and like, it's really hard to do a full eye look with all shimmers, but should I just do it anyway? Should we try? To keep this affordable, if anyone's like following along, I just grabbed my Crystal Sense palette. I'm just gonna use one of those shades to put in my crease just because it's like, it's just not coming off strong enough for me. Just deepen it up a little bit. All right, and then I'm gonna actually just take this really pretty kind of like pinky, like tan color and just take my finger. Oh, it's really pretty. And just put that all over my eyelid. Beautiful shade. I don't know if that's picking up, if you can see, but it's really, really pretty. It's not too pink and it's not too kind of like tan. It's a really nice mix in between. It's beautiful. It's like very shimmery. It's really buttery too. Look at that. Once again, I hate keeping like in the summertime, but like when I'm tan, like I always look for those really good, just like all over lid colors that you can just kind of like put on like when you're on vacation or something. Like if I were to just take this and rub this all over my eye and that's like all I do with some mascara, like if you can see how just creamy and buttery it's coming off and like very shimmery, it looks beautiful. It looks so pretty with tan, like some tan skin in the summertime on a holiday or something like that. Okay, so now that I've done that, I am just gonna take the definer color down there. I know it's glittery again, but I want to try and use a few of these shades. I'm gonna take that and kind of just pack it a little bit on the outer, like kind of like V. And then I'm just going to blend that right into that outer kind of corner. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that same color and smudge it out on the lower lash line right on the outer corner as well. So once again, there were no new products for eyeliner, so I am just taking my old stuff that I actually use almost every single day. It's the Wet n Wild Falling apart. It's the Wet n Wild Cream Eyeliner, just in its black color. It looks right like this. So I'm just going to take that, and I don't know if you can see, I'm obsessed with this lid color, like highly obsessed. It looks almost, I feel like you could use that as a highlighter. Like it's so just shimmery and not glittery at all. So I'm just gonna take this and line my eyes. So my camera just cut off for whatever reason for me doing the rest of my eyeliner, which is fine though, because like I said, it's the same way I do it all the time, and it wasn't a new product anyway, so I'm not reviewing it. So next I'm just going to actually put on my mascara, which I'm just going to do normal as well. This is I don't have any Wet n Wild mascara other than one I use on my bottom lash, so I'm just going to do this normal just because I'd rather have mascara that I like on. So I'm actually I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna fill in my brows and come right back because neither of those products are Wet n Wild, and I'm trying to keep this to that one brand. So I'm gonna go film that really quick, and then I'm gonna go apply that really quick, and I will be right back. I am so sorry that the lighting is getting so crappy. The sun is starting to go down, and this was taking me longer than I thought. Probably because I was having to unwrap all of the Wet n Wild things. It would take me forever, let's be honest. So now that my mascara and my brows are on, the last product that I'm going to be reviewing today is going to be the new, it says it's new, Liquid Catsuit Mega Last Liquid Lipstick. And this one is in the shade Video Vixen. I really like the shade of this. It looks like, you know what is my biggest problem with like drugstore lipsticks is that every time they look like they're this nice like brick deep red color, they come out purple. So we will have to see. That's the reason I was drawn to this initially, is it looks like I can never find this kind of color at the drugstore. Like it looks really like deep brownish red, which is never a thing. So once again, we shall see. So this is going to be the last thing I'm going to be doing, and then that will complete this full face of, yep, I already tell it's purple. I don't know if you can see from the wand. It has those really deep purple undertone hues. So we already know that, which kind of sucks because it's the pretty much not only reason, but you know. Definitely soluble chemically. So I'd say for a drugstore liquid lip, this goes on pretty well. It's not patchy. It's my bad. This looks really messy right now. To be honest, I just could care less. Like I could go like clean it up with concealer and all that. I just don't feel like doing it right now. I just really don't. It is bleeding a little bit. I know I didn't use a lip liner, but like as soon as I put it on my top lip, it immediately kind of started like bleeding through to some of my like little lines that are around there. But it is really tacky. I mean, I haven't given it time to dry. Will you all see? The color is actually really still nice. I mean, obviously, like if you can see the difference, like it doesn't look like how it looks in the tube. Be warned, drugstore lipsticks, I don't care if it's a lipstick, liquid lip, lip gloss, any of them that have this like deep burnt red color in the tube, they do not come off that way. They just don't. Like I have yet to find one. They just don't, they don't look that way. So anyway, still feels pretty tacky. Doesn't feel like it's really drying down very much. So anyway, this is my completed full face of Wet n Wild products and like first test. I would say my couple of highlights and favorites that have stood out to me. I would say this has actually through the video become my favorite. I went in actually the other room and kind of like shined a light, like a brighter light than what was on me in here. And it definitely looks very sheen and golden, like it doesn't look glittery at all. So this is like a big deal for me. I'm very excited about this. I don't really have like a color that's very specific to this in my collection, so I'm very excited about this highlight. And I would say the other one that comes right behind it is this blush in the color blush. I love these two products. These, obviously I feel like even if you put them side by side, like they go together very well. They probably complement each other really great too. And I would say right after that, I wasn't like the most crazy, but I was actually pleasantly surprised by the contour stick. I thought this actually did a really good job, especially for the price. So anyway, everything else I'd say was okay. I didn't have any products that I really like hated. I mean, the color of this, fine. I just have a couple other that already look like this because they all end up looking like this from the drugstore. But other than that, I would say I really liked a lot of these. I didn't have any ones that like stood out terrible to me. I'm not the craziest about this foundation, but I obviously haven't worn it for a long time, so I can't say so much about it anyway. So yeah, I'd say that's my overall consensus. Nothing stood out super bad, and other than the highlight and the blush, nothing stood out like super amazing to me either. So overall, I'd say it's a pretty win-win situation. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to like and subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.